All right, let's talk about something that can be a real headache for a lot of folks, designing Oracle Field Service integrations that don't fall apart. If you've ever been in the trenches with field service data, you know just how important a solid plan is.
I mean, think about it for a second. Your whole field service operation is kind of like this giant, complex symphony, right? You've got your CRM system starting the music, dispatchers conducting the flow, and your technicians out in the field actually playing the instruments. Everything has to work together perfectly. So, what happens when somebody's playing from the wrong sheet music? What if a message from a technician arrives after a dispatcher has already changed their next job? Well, you get chaos. You get data conflicts, total confusion, and a system that is seriously out of tune. That is the exact problem we're going to solve today. We're going to lay out a clear, actionable blueprint that'll help you make sure every part of your field service orchestra is perfectly in sync all the time. So let's dive in. And listen, what we're about to go through isn't just some textbook theory. This is a blueprint that comes straight from real-world, in-the-field experience from the experts at BizInsight Consulting. They've built these exact systems for huge companies. The whole entire architecture it rests on one single foundational idea. It is all about control and establishing a crystal clear system of record for every single piece of data. And here it is. Seriously, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. Your CRM system can create the demand, the need for a service call. But Oracle Field Service Cloud, or OFSC, has to own the execution. It owns the entire life of that activity in the field. Getting that boundary right is absolutely step one. So that principle gives us our three main players. You've got your source system, which creates the work. You've got OFC, the owner that executes the work. And right in the middle, you have Oracle Integration Cloud, or OIC. The best way to think about OIC, it's the air traffic controller, managing every piece of data flying between the other two systems. Okay, now let's zoom in on the single biggest, most dangerous challenge that this architecture is built to solve. We call it the out-of-sequence problem. This is where real time can cause some real trouble. Because in a modern field service world, things happen fast. We're not talking about events happening minutes apart. We're talking seconds. Okay, so watch this. At 1 second past 10 a.m., boom, a new activity gets created. Just 2 seconds later, it gets updated with new information. And 1 second after that, it's moved to a totally different technician's route. That's 3 critical events in 3 seconds flat. So here is the million-dollar question. Thanks to network lag or random processing delays, what happens if your main CRM system gets the moved event before it gets the created event? How in the world can you move an activity that, according to your system, doesn't even exist yet? The result is a total mess. You get corrupted data, your systems are completely out of sync with each other, and you cause massive confusion for your dispatchers and your customers who are looking at bad information. So how do we fix this nightmare scenario? We use a powerful event-driven blueprint. It's a 4-step pattern that guarantees perfect sequencing every single time. Let's break it down. Okay, this right here is the secret sauce. First, you immediately save every single event the moment it arrives. Nothing ever gets lost. Second, and this is the really clever part, you figure out the true order using the timestamp from OFSC, not the time the message happened to arrive. Third, you add a tiny controlled pause, just a few seconds, to give any related messages a chance to catch up. And finally, you process all the events for one specific job, one by one in that correct sorted order. See how that works? You turn that data chaos into a perfectly orderly queue. Now, a key concept that makes this whole pattern so tough and reliable is called idempotency. It's a bit of a fancy word, but it stands for a really simple idea. You design your system so that processing the same message 5 times has the exact same result as processing it just once. It's an amazing safeguard against data corruption. So we've seen the technical fix. Let's zoom back out for a second. Why does this blueprint work so well in the real world? It all boils down to having clearly defined roles and the huge benefits that come from that clarity. This table lays it out perfectly. The external system's job is to say what needs to be done. Oracle Field Service Cloud owns how it actually gets done in the field, and Oracle Integration Cloud is that master orchestrator in the middle, making sure the data flows correctly and that everyone follows the rules. And the benefits of doing this, they're huge and they're measurable. The absolute biggest win is rock-solid data consistency across every platform. But you also get incredible scalability. much better efficiency, and a truly real-time view of what's happening out there. Ultimately, the real payoff is this. This architecture lets your company grow its field operations, add way more technicians, handle more jobs, all without creating a brittle, tangled mess of integrations that becomes impossible to manage down the line. When you put it all together, it's not really just an integration anymore. It becomes the strong, flexible backbone of a truly modern, responsive field service ecosystem that can handle anything you throw at it. So, we'll leave you with this to think about. Now that you've seen the professional blueprint for building a system that's consistent and scalable, how are you going to re-architect your field service data flow?